I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting busy. Now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been know my haters.
Jordan? Taking over Chicago. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Jordan Howard, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they're hot as can be. Winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
First down, here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And now running right through it.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 22 carries, 5 yards past 100, and a touchdown.
And they've already clinched the playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
He may try and run for this. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limited to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On second down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Play action now. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Leonard Floyd coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. It's taken to the 26. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Burton. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that's complete. It's Sims. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Touchdown, Chicago! Jordan Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 20 carries, 57 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Handoff comes to Cook. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Trubisky. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here earlier on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
A give to Howard. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
What's the old adage, partner? Don't judge the book by its cover, because this guy, he takes the mantra that he'll go down with a brisk gust of wind and sets it on its head. Great effort there to break a tackle and come up with a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They pitch out to Howard, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. The left side caught by Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Second down, Cousins. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's right. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And some space here. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Now, I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. Murray with a nice move. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That was second down run for Murray. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll run here. It's Murray. Touchdown, Vikings! Latavius Murray, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. So they went to the ground game on third, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having a pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, third down. They don't care that it's third and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points. And we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Trubisky now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, let's go.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
18. Lock in.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Now the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
That's it, baby.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the helmet away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Move.
Now Howard trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Trubisky now off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly. That leads to a play-action sack. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. He goes full extension, and he's got it. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Throwing is Cousins. His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Play fake, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Cousins on first down. And that is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Cousins again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the...
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Emerson Griffin, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Going from, oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one, 41 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They run. This is Cohen, and they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Trubisky stays on his feet. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They run with Howard. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And now Jordan Howard slow to get to his feet, so they will stop play here. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. This is Cohen. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. And now running right through it. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Trubisky now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They go play action. Trubisky. And that's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Bears on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Throwing here, Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Following the interception, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's right. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Play action now. Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Following the penalty, it's Murray. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Cohen. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now Trubisky on first down. Going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Linval Joseph in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And the pressure gets to him again. Emerson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes.
Now Trubisky lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. A first down throw for Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
To throw is Cousins. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Bears on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Bears on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Back to the air, Trubisky after the pick 6. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A second down throw for Cousins. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because Him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you. I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Now Trubisky will lead the Bears up to go for 2. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a second down throw for Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Off the play fake, Cousins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Now Scarborough fights off the defender. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And on the ground they go with a running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Gotta go.
Trubisky will throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And no, it's incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Throwing left side, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Here's Trubisky to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. He hits White, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
Well, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
And his throw here's incomplete. But, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Chicago, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2.